so we played our first show in May last year, which was Great Escape. Yeah, I was really shook because I came from school as well, and it was just like, I don't know, it was I would say quite like an industry geared festival, so I was like quite nervous and I wanted to make good impressions, but like once I was actually on stage I just felt very free, and it felt like on stage I just felt quite comfortable, like, so the nerves kind of evaporated after that. But it was quite weird, like coming from history to the stage and then you just go back home and it's like, yeah. You know, I was taking meetings with labels and I was like going to sessions and stuff on the weekend and then still having to do my maths homework or whatever, so it was very much like a double life kind of thing, and it was, yeah, it was a lot to balance, but I think it was nice because I kind of stayed quite grounded, because it was like, you know, I never felt like I was, you know, a rock star in the making. I was just like, oh, I've got to go back to my biology paper now, you know what I mean? It's just always like, yeah. And then I've done quite a lot of, I did 2 support tours in quite quick succession. So we did Jordan Mackay, Loyle Carner, did some like festivals. But this is my first time like doing my shows, like completely my shows, having my own space, and it's been really special. So there's been like a very wide variety of people coming, which is something that I really appreciate, because I feel like it just connects to people. My music connects to people just on a human level, and like people from all ages can get something from it. When I write a song, it is just all based on like a feeling or something's happened, and I just write it down like immediately, so it's very organic and immediate. I don't really edit my songs down, I just kind of usually just write all the lyrics in one go, and that's kind of that. The best songs that I write are ones that I've lived and things that I've actually experienced, so I can kind of paint a picture. I can only really paint a picture if it's something I've seen with my own eyes, you know what I mean? My like references and inspirations are so varied. I think maybe like St. Vincent, because she was just very much like unapologetically like who she was, and she was just like ripping her guitar. She didn't care what anyone was saying, and she was like pushing boundaries. And I think seeing her putting out those first few records when I was quite young, when I was like a young teenager, just made me feel like as a woman like I could just achieve anything and I could go in whatever lane I wanted. And I don't know, I feel like even like listening to people like the Odd Future Kids, like Al Sweatshirt, Tyler the Creator, like all of them lot, they were just like young kids doing what they wanted and like getting quite far with it. And I feel like I just took inspiration from so many different places, and I could see that so many different people were pushing what they loved and being creative. So I was like, why not me as well? When I was young, I was listening to a lot of like punk music. I was listening to like the Pixies, I was listening to like the Stooges. Like the aggression of it was very much, I don't know, I felt like I'm completely immersed in a world that was very different to mine, and I could just be like, you know, all teenagers have like a bit of angst in them, so like listening to like, you know, even listening to like the Arctic Monkeys' first record and stuff like that was very like formative, and King Kool's first record came out when I was 13, so I was listening to a lot of like guitar music to kind of get away from things, yeah. I think specifically for our generation, I think there's a lot of like chaos, like politically and like socially and all of that, and I think young people feel quite helpless because it seems like it is on our shoulders to kind of change stuff and like and sort out the kind of mess of things, and I think it can be quite a lot and quite overwhelming for people. But at the same time, young people do seem to be like actively campaigning for change and like trying to make a difference, and like, you know, I think it is about, you know, I can make these songs that are like honest and sometimes quite sad, but I always want there to be like a kind of hopeful undertone. And when I was in Leeds, I was talking to this girl who was like 17, she was like, your music is exactly what I need to hear right now. It's kind of speaking about the truth of things, but letting us know that we can still change those things, that we're not doomed. Yeah, I feel like whenever someone tells me that like something that I've written in my bedroom is like, you know, got them out of a bad place, or that they've shared it with like loved ones, or like, I love it when people like show it to like their dad or their grandparents and they listen to it. It's so cute. I think that's like the best thing, when people seem to be really connecting and like sharing it with people they love and having it be a soundtrack to like good times and bad times. I find it really nice. It feels amazing. I think it's something that I always dreamed about, but I never expected it to be a reality, for me to be able to just be creating and like connecting with people as my day-to-day job, and especially so young and stuff and so quickly. So yeah, I'm just really grateful for it, and I'm still a bit like, oh, Oh, it's real. Okay, it's happening, you know. Yeah.